Hello everyone, welcome to my channel A to Z Nursing Notes. I am Rupinder and today we will be talking about Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a slow progressive neurological disorder and it leads to disability. It is a movement disorder, that is, it involves only the motor part of the nervous system. It is a very common neurological disorder found more commonly in men than in the women and people over the age of 50 years. Coming to pathology, in Parkinson's disease, there is destruction of the dopaminergic neuronal cells in the substantia nigra, and this leads to the depletion of the dopamine stores. Then the degeneration of the dopaminergic nigrostriatal pathway occurs, leading to imbalance in the excitatory and the inhibitory neurotransmitters. This leads to the impairment of the extrapyramidal tracts which control the complex body movements, and hence the signs and symptoms, tremors, rigidity and bradykinesia occur. Coming to cardinal signs and symptoms, there are three cardinal signs and symptoms of Parkinson's disease: tremors, rigidity and bradykinesia. Tremors are usually pill rolling types, that is, the person tries to as if rolling a pill in between his thumb and index finger. These are usually resting tremors and they subside as the movement increases. Rigidity is there is stiffness in the muscles of the neck, trunk and shoulder. Usually it is cogwheeling rigidity, which is like there is jerky increments in the movement. Bradykinesia, or there is slow movements. Other symptoms include hypokinesia. There may be gait disturbance, that is, the person has a short step gait and shuffles his feet. Then there may be postural instability, which increases the risk of fall. Dysphonia may occur, that is, there is dysfunctional speech. The speech is usually soft, slurred and low pitched. Dysphagia occurs, which is difficulty in swallowing. The patient starts to drool, and because there is drooling, there may be increased risk of aspiration and choking. The face of the patient becomes mask-like, expressionless, and the frequency of blinking it decreases. This slide shows classical features of a person with the Parkinson's disease. As you can see from the posture of the person, he has a stooped posture, mask-like facial expressions. The trunk is tilted forward. There is rigidity of the muscles of the neck, trunk and shoulder. The elbows and wrists are flexed, and when the person is walking, there is reduced arm swinging. The knees and the hip are flexed slightly. Trembling of the extremities occur, and there is short shuffling gait. Other men include excessive uncontrolled sweating, orthostatic hypotension, gastric and urinary retention. Constipation may occur. There may be sexual disturbances. Psychiatric symptoms like depression, dementia, sleep disturbances and hallucinations can occur. Coming to the assessment and diagnosis, the diagnosis is usually made from the patient history. So we have to ask the patient or the patient's relatives for the stooped posture, stiffness in the arms, neck and trunk, limping or tremors, and changes in the handwriting or micrographia, that is slow and small handwriting. In order to prove the diagnosis, there should be occurrence of two of the three cardinal signs and symptoms, which are tremors, rigidity and bradykinesia. Coming to the medical management, as it is a degenerative disorder, there is no treatment which can prevent the disease's progression. The treatment is directed towards controlling the symptoms so that the symptoms they don't worsen, and maintaining the functional independence as far as possible by making lifestyle changes. Pharmacological therapy is the mainstay of the treatment. The main drugs which are used in Parkinson's disease are anti-Parkinsonian drugs, for example levodopa. Now levodopa, it is a precursor of dopamine, and it gets converted into dopamine in the basal ganglia, producing symptomatic relief because the amount of dopamine it increases, which was actually the causative factor of the symptoms. It is beneficial during the initial few years, but nowadays usually syndopa is used. It is a combination of levodopa and carbidopa. Carbidopa is an amino acid decarboxylase inhibitor. So what What is the function of carbidopa? Carbidopa, it prevents the degeneration of, or we can say prevent the breakdown of levodopa outside the brain into the dopamine. And if it's like breakdown is prevented, so more amount of levodopa is available in the brain for conversion into dopamine, and hence we require a low dose of the levodopa, and it helps to reduce the side effects, or moreover it maximizes the beneficial effects. Prolonged use of levodopa can lead to confusion, hallucinations, depression, sleep alteration, dyskinesia, which is involuntary, abnormal involuntary movement, and includes facial grimacing, rhythmic jerky movements of hand, head bobbing, chewing and smacking movements, involuntary movement of neck and trunk. On and off syndrome may occur, in which the patient experiences sudden periods of near immobility, that is, the person is not able to move, which is known as the off effect, followed by sudden return of the effectiveness, that is the on effect. Medications that are used in Parkinson's disease are anticholinergics like trihexyphenidyl, cyclamine, benzotropine mesylate, etc. Now, what is the role of anticholinergics in Parkinson's disease? Because the amount of dopamine it decreases in the Parkinson's disease, so the relative amount of acetylcholine it increases. So here comes the role of anticholinergics. The anticholinergics, they reduce the amount of acetylcholine, restoring the balance between the dopamine and the acetylcholine. Side effects are blurred vision, flushing, rash, constipation, urinary retention, acute confusional states. Anticholinergics are usually contraindicated in narrow angle glaucoma, but if given, we have to monitor for the intraocular pressure as they increase the intraocular pressure. Also in prostatic hypoplasia, we have to monitor for urinary retention. Other pharmacological therapies which are used include antiviral therapy, dopamine agonists, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, catechol O methyltransferase inhibitors, commonly known as COMT inhibitors, antidepressants, and antihistamines. We will be talking about these in details in my next video about the anti-Parkinsonian drugs. Coming to the surgical management, stereotactic procedures are usually used where the medical therapy is ineffective, or there is no result from the medical therapy, so as to reduce the tremors and the rigidity by interrupting with the nerve pathways. It includes thalamotomy, which includes or in which there is the destruction of the ventrolateral portion of the thalamus in an attempt to reduce the tremors. The complications include ataxia and hemiparesis. In pallidotomy, again it is electrical stimulation is used to destroy the ventral aspect of medial globus pallidus. It is used in the advanced stage, and the complications include hemiparesis, stroke, and visual changes. Other surgical managements include neural transplantation, in which the adrenal medullary tissue is implanted into the corpus striatum to re-establish the normal dopamine release. Also, deep brain stimulation may be done, in which the electrode is used to block the nerve pathways in the brain and hence stop the tremors. Thank you.